coffee, sir.
Thanks, beautiful.
You're welcome.
How can such a pretty wife make such bad coffee?
Around 1000 AD, a goat herder in Ethiopia discovered the caffeine berries. He had no friends, so he just watched his goats all day. He realized that when these goats ate a certain kind of berry, they got super hyper. And he thought, what the hell? And he ate some. And then he started tweaking out too. So we brought them to a monk, who immediately thought they were demonic, and threw them in the fire. Then they smelled the sweet, sweet smell of that coffee. And they put the ashes in water, and the first cup of coffee came into existence. Or that's what the Europeans say. That story's pretty much legend. The guy was probably screwing his goats too. Around this time in Arabia, people were known to chew on these beans. The first coffee houses were founded in Yemen and Saudi Arabia. Smart asses would come here and drink this stuff and have arguments. It was really known as kabla, a word that would eventually evolve into the word we know for coffee. Around 1500, the kabla reached Mecca, and it rapidly spread over that area. Then Arabia got conquered by the Ottoman Empire. Ottoman soldiers would drop this stuff when they died, like in Minecraft, or they traded it for rare items like Minecraft diamonds. The white people immediately went ballistic. They couldn't get enough of this stuff. The Dutch at the time had a keen interest for this stuff. They had recently conquered a lot of tropical lands where the coffee would grow, so they smuggled a lot of the beans out of Ethiopia and brought it to their new conquered lands. The Dutch East India Company had started growing it in India and Sri Lanka. Then the British conquered India and took the Dutch East India Company with it. The British really conquered India for the tea and the slave labor, and the Americans and the British had a big fight over which was better, coffee or tea, and the Americans won. Then the Germans isolated caffeine in 1820, and the Americans decided it was a better alternative than cocaine in their Coca-Cola. Then the Americans fought themselves because they were too geeked up on caffeine. Then the Americans saved the Europeans from themselves and subjugated them to coffee superiority. Then they made the largest military in the world, and we lived happily ever after.